Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's JudiciousFire, and it is my pleasure to bring to you a three-part series. We're going to look at the 10 best heroes in Castle Clash. We've had a lot of new hero introductions. It's time we caught up and did an updated, expanded list. But we're going to break it into three parts. We're going to look at the top 10 best support heroes. These are your healers, your buffers, your debuffers, those that help the team. Going to do a list of the top 10 defenders. These are the ones that you rely on to defend your base. And we're going to look at the top 10 attackers. These are your hero killers. I think we've gotten to a point in Castle Clash where we really need to start to expand how we look at the different classifications. So that's the point of it. Please hit the subscribe button and help out the channel so we can keep things like this going. We're going to jump in right away to our top 10 heroes. These are all support heroes. These are your healers, buffers, debuffers, those that help to make our team stronger. We'll go from 10 down to 1. Coming in at number 10, we have Pumpkin Duke. Pumpkin Duke is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, buffer in the game. The ultimate support hero. Reason, though, that he comes in at number 10 is after a certain point in the game, you have limited use for him. You're only using him in a fraction of the game modes. But in those game modes, he truly does shine. Regenerate's always going to be his best talent to get him revving and going as fast as he possibly can. Empower is going to be more so for things like dungeons or where he's moving from point to point. Stationary object, go with regen. Moving from place to place, go with empower. It's basically as good. You can also do a combination of the two. If you want extra hits in combat, do something like a Sunder. If you're finding that he's getting killed from reflect or deflect, do a wicked armor. Don't be afraid of damage reduction on the guy. Throw a sacred light on there. It'll keep him alive. A dead PD buffs nobody. Equipment. You can go a couple of different ways in your overall build for Pumpkin Duke. A really great Pumpkin Duke that's going to be helpful in all game modes will be a dodge Pumpkin Duke. One that can stay out of harm's way. And maybe that has a sacred light insignia. And maybe for the enchantment, you might want to go with something like a Holy Conviction. There's a Pumpkin Duke that isn't going to die very easily. If you are interested in max speeds and max scores in damage capped game modes such as Archdemon, Ember Army, even boss battles, then you'll want to put a hyper strength on him for the energy regain rate, and you'll want to give him traits that are all attack. Pets on this man, Chickaboom, Glacy, Punching Box. If you want to help to keep him alive, Mutant Radiant Hawk, Cute Kitsune, Rudolph, Fennec Pet, Bublo, Dapper Bat, Mini Angie, anything that can help to heal him. Don't worry so much about his attack. Make sure that he stays along for the entire ride, the full 3-minute battle. And our number 9, best buffer, supporter, and general helper of the team is going to be Treantaur. I put Treantaur at 9 because he has this incredible ability to bring back your entire team simultaneously. And no other reviver in this game can do that. He still has a real place in things like guild wars, variety of circumstances where you want your whole team to just come back immediately. He also provides a great damage reduction to the team if you want to run him just like a regular hero. I give myself both options. I give a revive. This way, when I put him out on the board, if he gets killed immediately, he has the opportunity to come back and activate his skill. If I want to use him in general game mode play and get that nice damage reduction for the team, I could put a sacred light on there. Man does almost no damage, so something like a dragon's cover is not necessary. For insignias, if you're going to run the revive, you're going to want to have a revitalize. This way, when you put him out there, he's able to activate that skill as quickly as possible. Bring back the rest of your team. Hopefully get that 100% in guild wars or whatever you may be using him for at that moment. When you're running the keep him alive through the whole battle kind of build. Anything that provides damage reduction is great. Wouldn't really worry so much about healing. I would try to seek healing through having a healer on your team alongside Treantaur. I have a Holy Conviction on him. Great, more damage reduction. His traits are all dodge, and that's really what I would recommend. There's nothing that this guy does that requires him to have accuracy. His buffing, like the majority, if not all of the heroes on this list, the buffing and good things that he does for the team, they can't miss. Pets. The number one pet I would choose to put on Treantaur if you're trying to get him to activate his skill and bring back your team, especially in a desperation moment, put a Fennec pet on him. It's going to prevent a negative status from happening, and it's going to nearly guarantee that he gets his skill off. I find my best success with Fennec pet when I'm using him in that scenario. If I'm doing the general game mode, you can use any of the pets of today that are mutant pets that want to up his dodge. Anything that has a healing capability or damage reduction and a healing capability, like in the case of Mutant Radiant Hawk. Our number 8 best buffer in the game, support hero and general helper, is going to be Miss Magic. Miss Magic does a variety of things. She debuffs the enemy and makes them weaker, and she has a dramatic impact in buffing or helping our team to become stronger. We get a dodge boost, we get an energy regain boost, we get an attack speed boost, and we get a huge heal. All of those effects are for every hero that is out on the board in any given game mode. So if you're running Lava Isle and you've got a total of 20 heroes out on the board with you and 3 other players, one Miss Magic will buff the entire group and really makes it a really strong team. I have her with a Dragon's Cover. She puts out enough damage that she can get killed from reflect and deflect. Dragon's Cover prevents that. I also have a Flame Guard if I'm wanting to get out a little bit more damage through reflecting back at others. She is a hero that's immune to silence and does very, very well with a Flame Guard. For Cress, I have her with an Empower. She's a great auto proc hero to be on your base and to buff the team and to spread that heal and that dodge bonus and that energy regain rate and that attack speed boost to everybody on your base. So while I would not call her a defender, she will make your defenders on base even stronger because of her buffing and support ability. If you want to put a Sacred Light on there, that's great. Anything that's going to help to keep her alive. There's nothing about her that requires her to be strong and an attacker. You just want her to stay alive for the full battle. I have a Holy Conviction, more damage reduction. Extra heal for herself. Also, all dodge traits. And that really is the way to do it. Nothing about what she does requires accuracy. All the buffs that I've mentioned will land on our friendly heroes, regardless of accuracy or not. Pets. You can run anything like any of these support heroes where it's a healing pet, an extra healing source, something that provides some damage reduction, even some reflect like a Cold Drake. That would be really great. You could do a Drogo pet. You could do even a Eulefant that provides a dodge boost and will help to keep her natural dodge rate up and to provide her a little bit of help in combat from getting hit so often. Anything that's going to help to keep her alive. You just want her to be able to be there for full 3-minute battle. In our top 7 best support hero in the game is going to be Michael. Michael does a lot of different things, and all of them help your team. His biggest benefit is that he gives 9 friendly heroes. That's your whole team plus 3. 9 friendly heroes. An attack and an attack speed boost of 84%. That lasts 8 for 8 seconds. So it's constantly functioning. He is a hero that breaks off into 2 heroes. Now, at this point in the game, he's not an attacker. he is truly, I think, playing the role of a buffer, and you want those great buffing abilities. It may be a bit controversial of a build, but I went with an all dodge Michael. This sacrifices his ability to deflect damage, but it keeps him alive for the full 3-minute battle, so he can pump your heroes with 80+% attack and attack speed. That's what he does best today. If you want to minimize the loss of his deflect, I find that a soul healer is great. If you want to really make him tanky and you're not worried about deflect, I think that a Sacred Light is wonderful. Doesn't put out enough damage to warrant a Dragon's Cover or a Wicked Armor. For Cress, he is an auto proc hero. You can sit him on your base. The entire team gets these huge boosts every few seconds. That's a game changer. I also find that in player versus player modes, an Empower Insignia, sometimes run with the Soul Healer, that Empower Insignia activates his skill nearly as quickly as a Revitalize, but also gives him an 80% health boost, much better than the Revite that only lasts for a few seconds. His equipment, I went with Holy Conviction. If you want to keep his deflect pure, you might want to go with something that reduces energy, or maybe even a Spectre's Instinct. I went with all dodge traits, as stated earlier. A healing pet is great. I find, though, that to really get him into the battle and activating as quickly as possible and really getting your whole team to rush forward, especially in like a lost battlefield, I find that Bublo is his best. It gives him a big movement speed boost. He flies forward, boom, the rest of your team flies forward, and they start killing heroes. He's a tremendous support hero. If you have him on base, give him one of the mutant pets that helps to reduce damage or increase dodge. You want to try to keep him alive as long as possible. Give him some kind of a healer beside him, like a Wallawalla or even an Occultist. Mike is a guy who's been around for a while, but he does some things that can nearly make or break a battle. Last thing about Mike, I'd say that he is the best, if not second best, hero to use in Totem. He will provide these boosts to your team globally as soon as the totem is activated, and not just the hero that's standing beside it. Our number 6 hero on the top 10 support heroes in Castle Clash Countdown is going to be Anubis. And I'm choosing Anubis because we are shifting into a part of the game where a hero like Dynamica is becoming top dog. And Dynamica can be targeted very successfully, but you need to clear the 350 plus Guardian troops that are on most bases. Also, Anubis does a wonderful debuff of the enemy. He brings their attack down by 56% for 10 seconds with an 8-second cooldown. It's always operating the moment his skill activates. That's what keeps you alive when you've got a Dynamica attacking your base. That's what keeps you alive when you're attacking a base with a Dynamica. You've got a lower attack, you've got to clear troops. He also hits 100 at a time. And if that's not great support, I don't know what is. I run him 2 different ways. He is one of the perfect auto proc heroes, and with the Empower, I get a whole variety of insignias that I can use with the guy and vary based on the situation. If I want it to be a Dragon's Cover, it can be a Dragon's Cover. If I want it to be a Soul Healer, it can be an Unholy Pact. I also want him to do a lot of damage, and so a Wicked Armor paired up in a head-to-head fighting with another damage-dealing talent is always going to be a preferred. I'd like to be able to nuke the bad guys as quickly as possible, and Anubis really does help with that. His enchantment, I went with Holy Conviction because I wanted to give him some damage reduction. You could do a hyper strength and get his attack up. You could do a victory lunge, give him some reflect as well as a big attack boost. The number of things that you can run on Anubis. I just found a longer life and a better chance to clear off all the troops and to weaken the enemy when he had the extra time invested with the Holy Conviction damage reduction. I have all attack traits on the guy. If you're not going to run all attack, run all accuracy. In fact, probably accuracy might even be better. A lot of what he does, not all, but a lot of what he does is dependent on hitting the enemy. And accuracy would be a better choice. It would help to support what he's trying to do to support your team. I threw the attack in there because I really wanted him to liquidate as many people as possible in as few skill procs as possible. If I need the extra accuracy, I can do so with a pet. Speaking of pets, you could run Drogo on this guy. You can run Punching Box on this guy for a huge attack boost. If you run Punching Box on him, put him off by himself. This way, the effective Punching Box isn't given to another hero. Keep him like 15 squares away from anybody else, and Punching Box will only affect Anubis. Bad guys come onto your board, they just get turned to dust. You could do anything that provides some healing. Keep him alive even longer. He's got those great revives, so why not give him some heals in between all of those revives? I think anything defensive or anything massive attack oriented. Don't go in between with Anubis. And our number 5 hero on the Castle Clash support heroes countdown, we have Occultist. Occultist is one of the great healers in this game. The only thing that really limits Occultist is the fact that his healing has a range limitation. And if healers are outside, if the healer like Occultist is outside of a certain zone from the rest of your team, they're not going to get that heal. It's about 12 to 15 squares. So they have to be close in on one another. I would typically use Occultist in a head-to-head attack fighting kind of scenario. That could be Lost Battlefield, that could be storming somebody's base and trying to kill off their heroes. I think that Occultist does a better job than Wallawalla when it comes to keeping your heroes in a tight group, dropping them all on the enemy with the intention of killing them off. Walla, I would think, does a much better job globally in helping to support and nurture your team. But Occultist, for head-to-head fighting, he is awesome. He's also going to remove conditions. These are negative things that affect your team and make them weaker. And he is going to not only give that health recovery, but he's also going to give you a huge attack boost, allowing you to do even more damage in combat. 2 different ways I run him. This is the head-to-head hero fighting build, and this is more of the sitting on base, auto-procking, defending, and supporting the team kind of build, allowing that automatic skill activation. If I'm running head-to-head, I might be doing something like a True Piety, or I might be doing something like a Soul Healer to suppress the other team's healing capabilities. I don't think that he puts out enough damage to necessitate a Dragon's Cover or a Wicked Armor of any kind. Don't worry about that. Just go straight damage reduction, classic stuff like Sacred Light. Even Stone Skin would do him very, very well. When he is on auto proc on base, he is playing a support role. I think a Soul Healer is really great. Anybody get near him, they get their healing taken down by 85%. I have him with a Holy Conviction, and that really is a thread that runs through many of these heroes. That is a support build, trying to keep those heroes alive long enough that they make the rest of your team stronger for 3 full minutes. His own individual healing that he uses on himself will be boosted up by 180%, as well as the great damage reduction. I have all dodge on this guy. Nothing that this guy does other than this little tiny knife that he throws out every once in a while. All of it is
not dependent in any way on accuracy. It will always land. The heals, the buffs, the debuffs, the buffs on your heroes, they're washing away of conditions. These will always land. Don't worry about that. Pets. You can run Drogo on this guy. You could run a whole bunch of mutant pets. You could run Cold Drake. You could run a Radiant Hawk. You could do a mutant cute Kitsune. You could do the pet that suppresses healing. You could do classics like Mini Angie, Rudolph, Fennec Pet, Bublo, Dapperbat, and if you want to give him more of a attack ability, try some of these old schoolers like Little Havoc, even a great pet like Piblob, reducing accuracy. This guy's a real tank, and so you can run a whole bunch of different pets on him and get a variety of different effects. He's a great support hero when used in the proper way for the proper role. And our number 4 best support hero in Castle Clash is going to be Phobos. I'm counting Phobos as a support hero because really the great things that he does, the things that shine and make him a unique hero, they're all things that help your team. Either help them to survive or to take an advantage in attack against the enemy. He is going to silence or remove the ability to activate a skill from those heroes that are in his nearby area. He's also going to hit them with a major energy reduction. In some cases, he can prevent heroes from really doing anything. They can't activate their skill, and in addition, they can't gain enough energy. Even if they're immune to silence, can't gain enough energy to actually activate a skill eventually. He is a great hero to help support a team and to debuff or weaken the enemy. Great supporters not only heal and make your team stronger, they hopefully make the other team weaker. And Phobos is a true example of that, just like Anubis. There are many ways to build Phobos. Phobos is one of the great deflectors of damage in this game. And that is a wonderful ability that he has. So any kind of damage reduction or dodge that you place on the man is going to limit that deflect capability. I was okay with that. I was more interested in his silencing and his energy reduction and his ability to disrupt the enemy. So I was okay with giving him a Sacred Light. If I don't want him to have any kind of deflect reduction, I can go with an Empower. He's a wonderful auto proc hero sitting on the base, helping your entire team weaken the enemy as they come in. Rest of your gang goes into action, starts picking them off one at a time. For Cress, again, a Soul Healer is a wonderful thing. Reduce healing. Allow him to further debuff and weaken the enemy. I have a Holy Conviction. It does come at the cost of some of his deflect, but dead men deflect nothing. So I think that the extra survivability is a real key point in keeping this guy alive. He's one of my true tanks, and he seldom goes out in battle. I have him with all dodge. This is a result of my consistently using him as a support hero. If you want more of a attack-oriented Phobos, you'll want to go with accuracy, so he can hit with the damage-dealing components of his skill. Or, best of both worlds, put a pet that you happen to have accuracy traits on with a dodge build, or a pet with dodge traits on an accuracy build. I tend to blend the two together, dependent on the situation. For pets, again, look at his traits, look at how you want to move him up, try to get him up into a couple of thousand dodge, a couple of thousand accuracy. You can always do well with healing pets. That's something that he lacks. He has no healing process. So any of the great healing pets that we have, Never disregard the old school pets. The old school pets are very, very, very effective. They may not have a trait bonus, but they tend to do what they do better than any other pet in terms of their skill effect. We have reached the top 3. The number 3 best support hero in Castle Clash today is going to be Rune Master. And Rune Master does so many things to help your team that you could nearly put him in a variety of categories as a hero. But some of the things that he does as a support role are really game-changing. And we need to refer to his skill description. They are so lengthy. He removes energy. 100 energy. That's the full energy bar. And does so from 5 different heroes. He paralyzes them. They can't gain energy. They can't receive healing. He removes negative conditions and all the bad stuff that happens to your team, removes them from your friendly heroes. He increases their critical rate, their critical likelihood in battle. 6 heroes. That's your whole team. 60% boost. He does do a great job attacking. He does all of these things. He has a damage cap. He's a very sturdy hero. He's a jack of all trades. But he is also one of the best support heroes. Top 3. He has the whole spectrum. Debuff the enemy, buff your team. Make them weaker, make you stronger. Who's going to win? We've got 2 different builds on this guy. He puts out a lot of damage, and thereby I wanted to mitigate reflect and deflect. Did so with a dragon's cover. I like the fact that it's damage reduction, in addition to the reflect and deflect mitigation. When I'm running something like that, I will probably be using him in a defensive capability to help to buff and strengthen the team and debuff the attackers. Let him auto proc with an empower. Great. If I want to have him just straight, always auto procking, and I use him all the time on my base, I might put a Wicked Armor on here now. And that Wicked Armor is going to allow him to do even more damage in combat, but still keep the reflect and deflect mitigation. I've got a Holy Conviction. It's just going to make him even tankier. Anybody who's healing on the team is going to help him to stay alive with more effective health. Combination of damage reduction and healing, as well as a big health pool. That lasts much longer. I've got him with all accuracy. Most of what he does, everything that he does to debuff the enemy, does require accuracy. He has to hit them. The damage that he does against the bad guys, that does require accuracy as well. The boosts that he passes on to your team, like the critical boost, for example, that is not dependent on accuracy and will land no matter what. So I went accuracy, thinking that the majority of what this guy does require accuracy. Pets, you can do a Mutant Brave Croc on this guy, make him even greater critical striker. You can do damage reduction with like a Radiant Hawk. You could do a Q Kitsune, get his dodge up. You could do a mutant Dire Wolfling to bring the energy regain rate of the enemy down. He's very tanky, so he doesn't necessarily need healing pets. If you're going to go that way, good old Rudolph always saves the day. A Fennec and Mini Angie put onto this guy's already existing damage cap means he's going to get damage reduction in addition and a heal every 8 seconds. And it's a massive heal that Mini Angie puts out. He's a great hero all around. Top 3, wonderful support hero. A necessity, I think, for any team if you're going to be running a whole bunch of different game modes. And our number 2 support hero in Castle Clash. Number 2, healer, buffer, debuffer, and supporter of our team is going to be Wallawalla. Walla has really earned his place in this game, and I have a feeling that he's going to show up on a couple of different lists as we make our way to best defenders and best attackers. We're looking at support heroes right now, and coming in at number 2 is this man, Old Man Walla. Walla Let's put aside his damage dealing capability, which is substantial, and let's just look at what he does to help your team. He is going to reduce the healing effects of the enemy, debuff them. He's going to reduce their ability to move, their movement speed, again, debuff. He is going to give your whole team a huge heal. More than likely, all of their health pool is going to be restored with that one heal. He is going to remove all negative conditions. He is going to increase the attack ability of your team by 45% for 3 out of every 4 seconds. He is able to do this while being one of, if not the best, auto-proc heroes in the game. A hero that does very, very well sitting on a base and supporting those around him. He has a global effect, so unlike Occultist, your heroes could be in opposite corners of the board, and they will always benefit from Walla's auto-proc and these skill abilities. None of them are dependent on accuracy of any kind. The only one that is his 520% attack damage against the enemy. That tells me that he should have a dodge build. We're going to try to keep this guy alive as long as possible. That and a lot of damage reduction. He can put out quite a hit against the enemy, but now that is lowered a little bit when it comes back at him with the Dragon's Cover. Also gives him a great damage reduction. I still find that Flame Guard is an excellent choice for Wallawalla. Gives back a little bit of attack, little damage against the attackers. He can't be silenced, and the majority of the time he does a very, very good job. Gives him a nice tankier build. So safer build with the Dragon's Cover, a little tankier, more of a brawler's kind of build, bruiser's build with the Flame Guard. The quintessential auto-proc hero, make sure he gets an Empower on there somewhere and allow him to do his thing. Often I find in attack scenarios when I'm using him running head-to-head and trying to kill off heroes and using him as my supporter and my main healer, I find that the Empower is also a great choice. It helps when he gets frozen and stunned and comatized and inhibited and confined. He can still gain energy and get a proc off every once in a while. If not, go with a Sacred Light. I went with a Holy Conviction, again, damage reduction, and his own healing process is increased by 180%. So he gives himself a massive, almost double health pool heal. I went all dodge on the guy. That is the most important thing. He's one of the heroes that truly, truly requires dodge in this game. The great support hero. Pets. I would probably run, more often than not, Bellicose Bull or Cold Drake on Wallawalla. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's take a look at the center of this base. I would typically place Wallawalla toward the center of the base to protect the man. I don't want him at the edge where anybody can, just gang up on him. So I always have my Walla in the center of a base. Two great pets, Bellicose Bull and Cold Drake. They're always operating. They don't require that your hero is under attack. They don't require that your hero is attacking. They don't require that your hero is making contact with the enemy. Your hero could be sitting, just like Wallawalla, in the center of the base, and Cold Drake every couple of seconds is giving a reflect, is freezing up flying enemies. Bellicose Bull is giving a big attack damage multiplier and exploding in these damage clusters throughout the board. Also giving Walla some really great trait bonuses. So explore that. But if you find that your Walla is dying off pretty quick, don't be afraid to give him an extra form of healing with a Rudolph or a Fennec. A mini Angie will always be operating, just like the two pets I just spoke about. And Bublo will always be operating as well. And we have made it to the #1 Castle Clash support hero. Buffer, debuffer, and general all around. A great guy. Rambard. Rambard
inched ahead of Wallawalla, and that did wound me because old man Walla has been with us for a long time. But what I find in battle after battle, once my Rambard dies, my wallet quickly dies afterwards. It's never the other way around. Rambard is a tankier hero. Rambard is a hero that lasts longer than those heroes that I've mentioned so far in this top 10 list. Rambard is the hero that can go the full distance, and that means that he can help to support your team for the full 3-minute battle. And often it's a near guarantee if you build the guy right. He is going to be healing your team. That cannot miss. He is going to be giving each of them a shield. That shield reflects 35% of the damage that they're taking. That does not require accuracy, and that buff cannot be removed. During an offensive battle, so when you go out and you attack somebody's base, for example, during an offensive battle, he will revive 4 friendly heroes at a time. On his second skill activation, he would revive that 5th hero, then counting himself, your whole team would be back. This is a hero that's immune to a variety of conditions and has a wonderful ability to turn damage into healing. So he is a guy that when you place him in the center of your base, and just like Walla, put him in the center of that base, and I will often have Bellicose Bull or Cold Drake on him because they're not dependent on Rambard attacking or being attacked or being in the way of the enemy. I find that Rambard really does keep everybody alive. My base will be blown to bits far faster than even one hero will be killed. And if you know this game, you know exactly what I mean. Rambard is the ultimate support hero, and he's the kind of hero that can often make or break in this game and can be the difference between success and failure. Support heroes, friends, let's bring it to a conclusion. Please don't undercount them in any way. It is with the support heroes that our great defenders and attackers can actually shine and do their jobs well. This is why Castle Clash, for me, has always been about determining, identifying the one thing that a hero does best. Use all of my resources, all of my time, effort, and energy into making that one thing even better. I do not want generalist heroes that are good at a lot of things. I want a hero that is an expert, better than anybody, at the one thing that it does, the one thing that makes it unique. Then when we bring 6 of these experts together, we've got an unstoppable team. It's the kind of clashing we should all be doing. Enjoy your clashing, everybody. I will check you on the next installment of this, where we will start to look at the best defense heroes in the game and the best attack heroes in the game. All right, see ya.